One,
Who's
go.
presenting? John?
Yep, go ahead. All right, we're live.
I think there might be an issue.
What's up?
It says live.
Oh, you don't see that. You only are going to see what's in the screen.
John?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
What? 42, capital W, in Walnut. 42, capital Walnut. Hello?
Hi. Will, can you hear me? Will, can you hear me?
Oh. Oh. All right, Billy. Dude, this better work this fucking next time. Like, what the fuck?
Where did he go?
He was having audio problems.
Nuh-uh.
Can you guys hear me?
I can
I
hear
can
you
hear
just
you.
fine, buddy.
Okay. Yeah. He was having audio problems again.
So you think he's coming back?
I hope so. Oh, there he goes.
There he is.
All right, you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So I keep. All right. Whenever you're ready to go, we can go.
All right, I'm ready. So Rainey, you're gonna cut some minutes off. Nick, you're doing good, but I think Nick, you might have to cut a little bit off too.
Yeah, I got my timer ready when we start, so that way I'll know how much I gotta shave.
Perfect. All right, hold on. You guys ready? John, give me the countdown.
Okay. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so I'd like to introduce you to Firm Storm here, made by Nick Marcico, Bill Mullen, Rainey Thice, and John Trimby. Next slide, please.
Hi there. This is Jonathan. Talking about our overall farm performance. We began the simulation in 5th place at a stock price of 982. Our highest point, as you can see, we achieved in the 3rd period at 1094. Sorry, 2nd period. Unfortunately, after that, our stock price dropped pretty rapidly, losing about 60% of its value to close at 471. Afterwards, after some slight adjustments, we were able to recover slightly and finish the simulation at a 607. Looking at our overall brand performance, we experienced initial success, achieving 21% market share before increased competition and changing consumer values really took away a lot of our profits and revenue. We ended with about 9% market share. Looking at our different brands, for soft, we tried to target the saver segment, which resulted in strong brand awareness at around 54%, but good purchase intentions at about 1 to 2 points off the ideal value. We ultimately decided to discontinue this brand after the 1st period because of poor performance. Looking at Solo, we initially targeted the savers and shoppers segment, which gave us good, strong brand awareness at 59% and good brand perceptions, but only about average purchase intentions at about 11%. Again, as consumer values changed, we had to update to keep competitive. For Sonar, we introduced this brand later on in the simulation, targeting high earners and professionals. We saw average brand awareness at 38% and good purchase intentions at 8%. and good brand perceptions. Again, as with Solo, we had to update the brand's attributes throughout the simulation in order to keep it in line with the ideal values. For Sancho, we introduced this brand about midway through the simulation in period 5, targeting both savers and shoppers. With increased competition, though, we only saw 34% brand awareness and about 5% purchase intentions, even though our attributes were right in line with the ideal values. For Sophia, we introduced this brand near the end of the simulation, period 7, to target explorers. Again, since it was near the end, there really wasn't a lot of time to generate strong brand awareness, which only gave us about 13% and 3% purchase intentions. However, we did see high purchase intentions, which in line with the ideal customer values. Looking at the individual segment performance for our different brands, for Sophia, we were able to finish with the #1 brand share at about 43%, while Sonar finished with the second highest purchase intentions among high earners at 20%. Unfortunately, our other brands didn't fare as well. Sancho finished with the 5th highest brand share for savers at 9%, while Solo finished with the 4th highest brand share at 7%. None of our brands really made up a substantial share of the professionals segment.
Yeah, so I mean, through the entire simulation, there was definitely some lessons to be learned. Looking at our overall strategy, our focuses and decisions changed as our competitors offered new products and the consumers' values changed at the same time. While our initial strategy had been to design products to fit kind of in between the markets, we discovered that having a more focused segmentation towards a direct market was a lot more beneficial to us. Everyone was making new products, fitting them in there, direct to the markets. Additionally, as consumer values changed, we were slow to adjust our brands to keep them aligned with the ideal values. That could have been a weakness for us. In line with these adjustments and segmentation strategy, we should have utilized our loan options earlier. We didn't take a loan out until there was two periods left before the simulation ended. We should have utilized them earlier. We would have definitely used them for research and development. In terms of our budget, we discovered the importance of allocating enough money to media and research. As we put more money into the marketing mix, we saw strong returns in advertising message, and that only extrapolated into brand awareness and purchase intentions. In regards to production, we overestimated some of our retail sales, which resulted in large holding costs. So we overproduced in several periods. That definitely ate into our overall revenue. If the simulation projected, we probably would have looked a little more into the distribution team. When it ended, we had one of the weakest distribution teams, but that was one of our least priorities. We were focusing more on research and developing and the marketing mix. But that's what we had to say if we had some more lessons. Next slide, please.
In regards to segmentation and target marketing, MarkStrat definitely reinforced the importance of MarkStrat segmentation. Fortunately, the simulation already segmented the MarkStrat market for us by identifying and profiling distinct groups of buyers such as the savers, shoppers, explorers, high earners, and professionals. In addition, prior to the start of the simulation, MarkStrat was kind enough to supply us with how each of the segments differ in their needs and preferences, and described each segment's purchasing habits, where they shop, and income levels. This information was beneficial when we were not only designing and researching products, but also when we were allocating our products to be effective as possible. In regards to selecting and rating market segments, MarkStrat also taught us the value in selecting and rating market segments. Though the market research we were able to understand through the market research, we were able to better understand each segment and their preferences, whether they were measurable, substantial, accessible, differentiable, and actionable. This also played a role in which segments we found to be most valuable to target Storm products and to meet our objectives as a firm, effectively utilizing resources. In regards to target market selections, mass marketing versus differentiated marketing, we originally employed mass marketing tactics by not fully appreciating the specific market segmentations within the sonite industry. Nearly halfway through the simulation, we noticed our competitors were thriving through the differentiated marketing by selling different products for each segment. Dependent upon the product and the industry, it was very important to understand the benefits and drawbacks of mass and differentiated marketing. Next slide. In terms of product, we believe the Storm products could be classified as durable goods because it is tangible and survives many uses. In addition, it fulfills the description of durable good by being expensive, and it requires far more effort to sell, such as using commercial teams through personal selling more specifically, and the products command a higher margin. In terms of product differentiation, we had to create different products through product line analysis, meaning we had to evaluate our sales and profits associated with each item and evaluate the positioning relative to our competition and decide whether to build, maintain, or harvest or divest these products. We also utilized line stretching, which means that we used products to go outside of their range. We went up market to higher level incomes, higher end markets, and we also down market stretch, going to lower price offerings such as savers and shoppers, and higher end meaning your high earners and professionals. This is called the two-way stretch. The product lines went into both directions. In some ways this affects the brand and how consumers and segments interpret the brand, but it was very important when using our marketing mix to maintain and convey in communication and messaging what each product meant within each segment. We also did line modernization, where we constantly updated our products to meet the demands and forecast what consumers in each segment were looking to purchase. And we also developed new products throughout the simulation to meet the demands. Next slide. In terms of price, the sonite industry consumers were very focused on value and price of products. It was critical to understand the benefits and costs of the product, the value that it gave to each segment. Compared to our competitors, it was important to understand that consumers wanted more value with products than when they made their decisions based on price. Through the marketing mix, we made an effort to stress specific product values and price to each segment. We also fell into some pricing problems, such as not revising our prices as the market changed from period to period, and not setting an intrinsic element of market position strategy. Also, at times, we did not compare our own products' prices from one product line to another product line, and this had an effect in how those products sold within their segments. In terms of pricing psychology, price quality inferences played a major role for a few of the segments, specifically as shoppers having a high quality price ratio, which means they believe that the higher the price, the better the quality. And we also employed some price cues such as ending in nines, odd numbers, which conveyed a discount to consumers when they were purchasing within their market. On to Nick.
Regarding place, all firms in the London Group utilized the same three major channels for distribution, which were the specialty stores, mass merchandisers, and online sales stores. Our products were similar to the others and sold mostly in mass merchandise and specialty stores, with the smallest volume outlet being in the online venue. Although the actual number of distribution channels remained the same, the shopping habits changed regularly throughout the simulation, and by the end, the segments had totally different habits from the beginning. This proved to be a problem for us at first, as we didn't pay enough attention to the changes in habits or notice trends related to these habits either. When launching products and modifying products early on during the simulation, we didn't have enough focus on the increase of not only the market segments, but their preferred places to shop. Online shopping grew in all 5 segments, even with the amount of shoppers in those segments shrunk. Another trend we didn't take into account was the actual increase in the market size. The amount of savers increased from 3.2 million to 9.9 million, and the amount of shoppers increased from 2.3 million to almost 9.2 million during the simulation. Both those segments preferred to shop in the mass merchandisers, but also saw their online shopping presence more than double during the game. One facet we overestimated was the number of products in the channels for each segment. Our strategy in the beginning was based on trying to create a few products that appealed to multiple segments, in part to make them appealing to mass merchandisers and specialty stores. However, with the actual growth in the market, we failed to realize the amount of consumers could actually support several brands available. Along with not being attentive to the growth trends and shopping habits, we didn't place enough emphasis and importance on our personnel and the commercial team within the distribution channels. We started with 2 products and ended with 4 concurrent products selling in the marketplace. However, did not increase our commercial team at all over those 8 periods, ending with the same 60 employers to distribute in 12 directions, 4 products with 3 channels each. Conversely, the top firm in the simulation employed over 5 times the amount of commercial team that we did, with 305 employees pushing their products to the consumers. Next slide, please. An area where we excelled was our advertising and research perceptions by the consumer segments we served. For all 8 periods in the simulation, we had either good or excellent perceptions of our brands, with the vast majority receiving excellent marks. When new products were introduced in the market, our firm experienced a significant jump in brand awareness, especially with Sonar and Sophia. Sophia didn't get the giant brand awareness for the last 2 periods, but was the leader in market share at over 42% by the last period. This is attributed to having a strong balance of not only media advertising, but market research as well. Of note, we started this simulation with the balance being equal between the media advertising and ad research for budgetary spend, and received excellent marks for the message crafted. During the last periods, knowing we were coming to an end, we took the money out of research and boosted the media advertising, and our results were still very similar to earlier periods. We would have changed this trend moving forward had the simulation continued. Another downfall that we had, even though we were able to generate significant market awareness for our products with excellent messages, it didn't always translate into increased sales. Several times over the course of this exercise, we did notice strong numbers regarding market awareness, but very weak results with regards to actual sales of products. We attributed this to having products that were inferior to other competitors with regard to actual features and characteristics. Next slide, please. In conclusion, we learned a lot from this marketing simulation, and it was a great experience for us to go through. We changed our strategies several times throughout. We started off strong in the middle where our strategy wasn't working so well, but we did change it and finished strong as well. We were happy with the way we placed and bringing up our market share in the 8th and final period, and our share value and volume sold were the highest of the periods. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of this class.